Say hello.
Good evening.
Good Friday evening. This is Donna and Keith from Yonder Ways. We're sitting on our pond and just got home from a nice dinner, and we thought we'd just share some things. We don't know what we're doing yet, and it might be a while or it might be never, but we're thinking about sharing our just things about us as a newly retired couple, and transitioning from our busy
Hospitality business.
to now being active seniors. So what have we been up to, Keith? Give them a little timeline about when we retired and what we're up to presently.
Well, in our pretty much pre-retirement, we started a small business cleaning and managing short-term rentals. It snowballed.
Why did we do that?
Well, we lived out of the country about 10 years. I came back to the U.S. after living out of the country in a management job, and worked in a few jobs in the U.S. After that, was ready to get out of the corporate rat race, to be honest with you. So we started this business to give us something to do in our pre-retirement and make some money, and it snowballed.
Wait, hang on. How did we get into the hospitality business, Mr. Lyerly?
I hadn't gotten there yet.
Yes, you should have. You've skipped it twice. We bought a house, and it's got a guest cabin on it, and we turned it into a short-term rental. Okay.
Okay. You gonna cut all this out, right?
No!
Yes, you are.
No! They getting it raw.
No. So we said, we had somebody ask us, some friends of ours say, we are thinking about buying a house up there. Would you manage it for us if we bought a house? They, at that time, lived in Florida. And we said, sure, we would do that. We would do it as a short-term rental. Turns out they never bought property to do a short-term rental. They ended up moving here and are great friends here. But we had some other people ask us about the same thing, managing short-term rentals. So we took a property. We got a call from a national company that did short-term rental management, all the booking stuff, which we were not going to do, and got hooked up with them. And bottom line, within just a matter of weeks, we had 7 properties.
Including our own.
Including our own. And we hired our first employee. She was great. Did a lot of the work for us. We were both working full-time doing it as well.
And this was, for a time frame reference, we bought our property, Yonder Ways, 10 years ago, and we went live with our property hospitality cleaning company 8 years ago.
So again, saying it snowballed on us. We ended up getting up to about almost 50 properties, and we decided that we couldn't maintain that. We couldn't hire people, and we were ready to slow down some anyway. So we dropped back to 30 properties. We reduced down to 30, and we're doing fine. And then, we did have plans to transition out of the business in some way. We thought we were going to sell the business. But last December, we went to Mexico, which is currently our favorite place to go back to since we lived there. Went to Mexico for a week after having somebody come and take care of our property here with our animals, taking care of the business. And
That would
just
be our daughter.
yeah, our daughter Abby came and took care of the property for us when we were gone. But while we were there, we being gone a week, which is as long as we've been gone anywhere in
8 years.
8 years, we pretty much had an epiphany. Said, this is the life we need. We need this tranquility. We need this laid back approach to retirement. And so we came back figuring out a plan. So basically we ended up transitioning the business to our employees. So basically we split the business up.
Oh my Lord, if I had a nickel for every time you said basically.
So basically we
Oh my gosh!
I did that on purpose. We transitioned the business to our employees. Split all the properties up so that they each had a reasonable amount of employees, properties they could take care of on their own. So that started on April 1st of this year. So we've been doing it
A month.
a month now. Well, 2 months actually.
2 months.
2 months.
6 weeks.
We just finished our second month. So things are going well. There were some growing pains to
We're still
swap over.
handling admin
Yeah,
responsibilities.
Donna's doing all the scheduling and dealing with clients and guests.
Yes, yes.
And I'm still doing all the billing, but we're not in the field anymore, so which is a good thing. That has given us the opportunity to do work here on our property, Yonder Ways, to get some things done that we've neglected for years, and some things that we had to get done because of damage that we had during Helene. So we've gotten a lot done. We decided we were going to sell this property, which was something we talked about all along, because we have almost 8 acres here. Helene basically showed us that we're too old to do this anymore.
To maintain it.
To
be the
good
proper
stewards.
to this property that it requires.
We have animals. We had 3 potbelly pigs. They're all gone now.
They've gotten their wings.
They've gotten their wings. We have a couple of livestock guarding dogs. We have chickens. We are down to 7 chickens. We did have 25, 26 at one time. Down to 7 chickens, and they're all older. So they're not going to be around much longer. And we have 6 cats. 3 of which are kittens, little guys.
They're barn cats.
They're barn cats. So in deciding to sell this property, like Donna said, mixed emotions for sure, because we love it here. So tranquil, sitting out on our pond. We're off the road.
We can sit by. We have 2 rushing creeks. We have a stream that feeds our pond, and so there's always water, rushing water sounds all 24/7. And it is the end of May, and I have on a shawl and a sweater and a long sleeve shirt because
it's chilly.
It's chilly.
And a little breezy as well. But it's nice.
It's lovely. The fireflies, the blue ghost fireflies were back again this year. We were so worried that they wouldn't have survived Helene. We happened to be the last property in the Pisgah Rainforest to have the honor of the fireflies being established in our woods. And so it's an incredible sight to see the blue ghost fireflies, and it's a privilege in that there's a lottery system here in Western North Carolina to be able to even see the fireflies, and you pay to get in this lottery, and you may be chosen or you may not, and then you have to show up and then hike pretty far in to some of the egg-laying areas of the fireflies, and all we have to do is walk down in our long driveway and with a little camping chair and sit and let them just flurry all around us. It's quite
magical.
a sight. It is magical. So anyway, we do have our property up for sale. It, we, you know, it's just going to take that special someone or special couple to come along that is going to continue the stewardship and honoring this little Appalachian holler as we have set out to do. And when we do sell, our plans are to head to Greenville, South Carolina, because Keith and I are both from Greenville County, South Carolina. Originally, we met in high school at Traverse Rest High School, and that would have been 51 years
51 years
ago. And
this October.
So, in over our lifetime, we have 3 fabulous kiddos. Of course, they're all grown, and we have 1, 2, 3 grandchildren, and some. I counted them because we also have some adoptive grands as well that we count as our own, and then. But my mom, who's alive and well in Simpsonville, South Carolina, we would just like to be closer to her, and we'd also like to be closer to the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport. Or, well, yeah.
'Cause we got a bucket list that
we got a travel list.
we got to get through before we get too old to go places.
Too decrepit to travel. And so we are ready and willing, and that's the next phase. But there's also little subcategories happening, and that we'll share another time about our plans. And we're also a couple who we afforded experiences. We put the bill on many experiences. We've lived out of the country twice. We've lived in, Keith touched on it, in Puebla, Mexico for 4 years. We also lived in Shanghai, China, in Pudong, in Jinqiao.
Jinqiao Green area, they call it.
Yeah, and where a lot of the foreigners live. It was Keith was there
5 years.
5 years. I was just there a year. I had to come home because one of our family members had some issues, and I needed to be home for that. I wasn't a permanent resident. I just would fly over occasionally on those long 16-hour flights. 16 hours plus if we got a bad layover. Anyway, but we've got stories to tell about that, and but my point being is I'm just going to be just dead dog honest with you. We're retiring without a nest egg. We have a home that will hopefully, that we put our blood, sweat, and tears
And money.
in, and it is our single most, what's the word I'm looking for? Retirement equity asset. Yes. So it's people. A lot of our friends have said, "Why are you selling?" It's like, it's not a choice. If we want to feel secure
and travel,
and yes, and to do a little few other things beyond just living off Social Security, and good gracious, that's precarious these days. It's just downright scary. And then so that's what our channel's going to be about. It's just we've been lifelong friends. We've been together forever and ever, and we've had a lot of experiences, and we hope to have a lot more. We are experience seekers, junkies, We don't need things like we need to go off or to do, and so we're just going to see where this channel takes us. And if anybody can relate, if you can, understand, things happen. We had things. It's not that we didn't save. It's not that we weren't prudent. It's not that we weren't earnest. And it's not that Keith wasn't an incredible provider, but we had some health challenges with a family member that wiped us out, and
plus we put a lot into this property to get it where we needed to get it.
Yeah, we'll explain about our property another time. It was the thing I always tell people is when our realtor happens to be a dear friend, and when she showed up to walk us through this property, because we're the ones that found it, she pulled out a wet wipe to open the door. She wasn't having it, and
basically neither house, the cabin nor the main house, were livable. They were not.
And so
we'll get into it more later, but it was a challenge.
Yeah,
honestly.
But we're forever. We got them on now. See these rose-colored glasses we're wearing, and we're always looking at the, we're always hanging on to the possibilities. We're cliff jumpers, and I had to learn to be one because Keith's better at jumping than me. We are calculated risk takers, but when the opportunities just open themselves up, we don't hesitate anymore. It's like, yep, let's do it. I mean, what do we have to lose? We don't have any money.
Well,
but we
can't take it with you.
That's right. So I think we'll leave it. You want to leave it at that, and then
sure. It's getting dark.
We'll actually we might even make a plan about what we might talk about later. But that just gives you a little bit of idea, just an introduction. We'd love to hear if others have, upon seeing this, if you have a channel or if you have stories and you can relate in some way to this. By the way, I am, how old am I?
67.
I'm 67, and you'll be 68 in a couple of months. And so, ever since I turned 40, I can't remember how old I am. I don't know how old my kids are. It's just a number now, isn't it? And so that's our ages. Again, we just retired, and we're trying to figure out what's up next. I mean, we got a plan, and it's just executing it. And it's also about possibly finding a couple of other little revenue sources to foot our habits.
More about that later.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining us, and I think we're supposed to say, if you like this, hit the like button and then subscribe. Thanks.